Sup Swarm, Sketchy here, and I'm giving my thoughts on the 4th episode of the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, Father Figures. After finding out that Maya and KG have 2 dads, Penny has to contend with homophobia, both from her schoolmates and her own father. I have mixed feelings, and let's see if I can cover them all in 5 minutes or less. I doubt it because I'm looking at the script and it's a bit long, but here we go. It does not surprise me that Oscar is a homophobe, and it also does not surprise me that he gets some serious karma for it. My main concern is that because he's looking for a loan from Randall, one of the 2 dads, Oscar learning to be more tolerant can come off as disingenuous because he has something to gain. But the whole shattered eyes thing they did with him, while heavy-handed, did end up helping the point get across. It isn't until he sees how happy everyone is that he realizes that he's the one that's in the wrong. But I can't blame you if you still think the episode came off as though it rewarded Oscar for learning something that he shouldn't have had to learn in the first place, but at least they tried their best here. As for Randall and Barry, they're great. They're kind people, but they also know thinly veiled homophobia when they see it, and they don't take it lying down. When it comes to how they themselves are portrayed, they're perfectly normal. And the show makes it clear that Oscar and all the kids being weird about their relationship are the ones with the problem. But this episode really reminds you how old the showrunners are because the writing brushes up against some tired ass tropes. Oh, Felix is jealous that his wife is working with a handsome man, but it turns out that handsome man is gay, even though a trusting husband that has no reason to suspect his wife of cheating shouldn't have been jealous in the first place. Oh, Dejanay is confused because if that's your dad, then who's that? Good Luck Charlie did this 8 years ago and was way more clever about it. Great, this episode got me to compliment a show I don't even like. Eventually it gets out that Maya and KG have 2 dads, and why did Dejanay have to be the one to put it out? You were doing so well last episode, girl. What happened? As for how Maya and KG are treated because of this, I really can't speak on how realistic it is because I haven't been in middle school in over a decade. But I will say, I love how KG is portrayed when it comes to this issue. You really see how much he cares for his sister, even though he doesn't say much. He's quick to come to her defense because he knows how sensitive she is about being teased for having 2 dads. It establishes that this has been an ongoing thing for them, and regardless of how you feel about Maya as a character, KG stepping up and having her back on this is objectively good, whether it's from outright harassment or setting Penny straight when she puts her foot in her mouth when she attempts to help. Speaking of Penny, she was another character I was worried about. Penny has always been characterized as someone that stands up for what's right when it comes to social issues, but sometimes she does too much. And that means she's the exact kind of person that would be an overcompensating ally. A pitfall that allies can fall into, myself included, is that they can overcompensate when it comes to expressing their support for someone. There are absolutely times where you need to stand up and fight, but other times all someone needs is for their friend to be there to support them. For example, instead of making a show of sitting with the kids with 2 dads and talking about how, oh, some of these other kids don't even have dads, maybe just sit with them and not make a show out of it. And I like that KG calls Penny out on this, but then she does it again. They do show that Penny realizes that she messed up again visually through her expressions, but they kind of just don't talk about it again. At the very least, Maya reminds Penny that she needs to fall back, and it looks like they might grow closer because of this. If this ends up being the catalyst for Maya and Penny's relationship becoming less antagonistic, I guess that's a good thing. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm optimistic. So you see why I have mixed feelings on the episode, and I'm not even sure if I like it or not. It portrays Randall and Barry very well. They stand up for themselves and each other, and it's clear that they instill those values in their kids. But it doesn't really follow through on Penny's lesson of being a good ally, and seeing Dejanay backslide after being one of the highlights of the previous episode is very disappointing. That being said, I also have to acknowledge that my perspective as a straight person is limited, and maybe I'm missing something that makes this episode better or worse than I believe it to be. I genuinely do not know if I'm being too hard on this episode or if I'm not being hard enough. So I'd love to hear thoughts from people that have had these experiences. I gotta practice what I preach. A lot of you have been giving some great and insightful comments on this series so far, so let me know your thoughts. I barely made it under the 5-minute limit, and until next time, keep it sketchy, folks. Peace.